Hello and welcome to the AI Breakdown. I'm Andy and I'm here to talk about the world of AI assistants. If you're new here, this is the show that turns artificial intelligence into real talk. We cut through the complexity to show you how AI actually works and what it means for your job, your business and your future. Today's episode is all about choosing the right AI assistant for you, because if you only know ChatGPT, you're missing out on a whole world of useful alternatives that might fit you better than the big household name. We're living through an era where AI isn't just a buzzword for startups and tech panels, it's in the hands of hundreds of millions of people, every day, everywhere. The launch of ChatGPT in 2022 basically put AI into the mainstream, and suddenly everyone wanted a chatbot. But competition quickly followed. Anthropic came in with Claude. Google doubled down with Gemini. Microsoft literally built Copilot into Windows, and Perplexity started making Google search look a bit old hat for the first time in 2 decades. What's really changed? We've gone from plain old chatbots to true digital assistants that think and work across formats. You're not just typing questions anymore. You can show your assistant a photo, ask it to translate voice notes, pull files from the cloud, even have natural voice conversations that sound indistinguishably human. Many can generate realistic images, videos, and audio, handling massive documents in loads of languages. Integration is now happening. The best assistants aren't stuck in a single app. They follow you across devices, platforms, even your workplace. And AI has got practical. You can now use these tools for actual work, from summarizing 200-page reports to planning holidays, with fact-checking and transparency that's trust but verify, not just trust me. We're talking about huge productivity improvements, creativity that makes your colleagues ask, how do you do that? And digital security that provides real peace of mind. So let's dive into the leading alternatives and find out which digital assistant should be working for you. We'll start with the familiar ChatGPT and then walk through each of the main alternatives, giving a snapshot of what they're best at and how they're being used. ChatGPT still remains the benchmark for most people, easy, everywhere, and always improving. As of July 2025, you get ChatGPT 4.0 in the free version, with text, images, audio, and short video capabilities. That's a lot. It's your go-to Swiss Army knife, fluent in dozens of languages, working across web, desktop, and mobile. Paid users get unlimited file uploads, code interpreter mode, custom GPTs for niche tasks, and super quick voice conversation. If you've ever wondered how AI could become your go-to for everything from learning a language to fixing a spreadsheet, ChatGPT is usually the first place to test the waters. Anthropic's Claude is the calm, privacy-focused, ethics-obsessed cousin. Claude 4 models are best in class for long documents. Think 200,000-word corporate reports or research papers. Key difference? Anthropic takes data safety and model safety very seriously. Your content isn't used to retrain the model by default, and Claude is designed to avoid bizarre or risky replies. It's constitutional AI in action, operating with a very clear ethical rulebook. Claude also integrates with apps like Jira, Zapier, and Google Workspace for smoother business workflows, and now offers an artifacts feature, meaning it can create and share documents, not just text. Basically, it's an AI partner you'd trust with your business. Microsoft Copilot isn't a website or app. It's AI baked into Windows, Office, Teams, and Outlook. It's all about getting AI where your work happens, drafting presentations, summarizing meetings, running live Excel analysis, or managing email floods with smart topic summaries. Copilot knows the context of what you're looking at and uses that to help, so you're not forever copy-pasting into separate chat windows. For work and productivity in the Microsoft ecosystem, it's unbeatable. Perplexity's claim to fame is being the first AI that feels like a proper, real-time cited answer engine. Imagine Google search on turbo, with AI reading the articles for you and giving back a digest, links and all. You can pick your sources, academic, Reddit, news, Wikipedia, and upload PDFs or images for sourced answers. Students, journalists, and fact-checkers love it because you can actually verify where information comes from. It's great for quick, trusted answers and digging deep into topics, as well as mobile voice queries and action-taking, like booking restaurants or making reminders. If you care about where your information comes from or need to justify an answer, Perplexity should be high on your list. Google Gemini leans into multimodality more than anyone, combining Google Search, Maps, Gmail, Docs, and Calendar with a super intelligent assistant. Its Canvas feature creates collaborative workspaces for creative brainstorming, and Gemini Live brings ultra-fast voice conversation to Android and web. If you're a heavy Google user and want huge context limits for parsing book-length files, Gemini is the no-brainer. Meta AI lives everywhere you chat socially: WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook Messenger. It's all about natural conversation that flows between 100+ languages, with real focus on voice, emotion, and fun. Think generating memes, doing live translations and chat, and turning text into 4K images or video. It's emotionally aware, responding supportively and shifting tone to match you, all completely free. And with their Llama 3 and 4 models, it's open source if you want to build your own, but also totally free for chat and media generation. Meta AI is emerging as a learning and entertainment coach with open developer tools and, crucially, a privacy-first stance for social use. DeepSeek is the underdog growing fast in open source and academic circles. Its mixture of experts approach blends advanced reasoning, logic, and science, making it ideal for technical research and developers who want to self-host. DeepSeek Coder excels at collaborative coding projects, supports hundreds of languages, and is particularly valued where strict data compliance matters. In short, you're not just picking between digital voices, but choosing an approach: privacy, creativity, scientific rigor, or deep business workflow. Let's look at real-world scenarios. For students and everyday creativity, ChatGPT is your go-to. Whether you're drafting content, learning something new, writing code, or prepping for an interview, it handles complex task breakdowns brilliantly. The code interpreter in paid tiers lets you upload data, run analysis, and create charts all in one go. For heavy document work, lawyers, academics, managers crunching contracts or annual reports, Claude's massive context window is your secret weapon. Because of its safety rules, I choose Claude for projects where tone, risk, or privacy are critical. For Microsoft users, Copilot becomes a daily necessity. It drafts reports from meeting notes, turns spreadsheets into readable summaries, pulls action items from emails, and summarizes Teams meetings. The magic is context. It already knows your open Excel sheet or unread Outlook threads. When facts and citations matter, journalists fact-checking, students needing sources, researchers comparing data, Perplexity is the must-have. Every statement links to sources, and you can analyze PDFs while hearing the highlights. For creative collaboration and Google ecosystem users, Gemini shines. Generate images for mood boards, draft video scripts, schedule your week, and pull location data all in one workflow. The Canvas mode is brilliant for team brainstorming. For social intelligence, Meta AI brings smarts to where you actually chat. Use it in group chats to translate on the fly, create memes, or generate images directly in chat threads. It picks up emotional cues and responds like a supportive colleague. For technical and academic work, DeepSeek excels with scientific data, literature reviews, and math tutoring. Being open source, you can self-host for complete privacy control. Here's my personal toolkit and how I break it down. For quick access to current information, or when I need to verify facts, I turn to Perplexity. I use ChatGPT or Claude for creative tasks, brainstorming, and content generation. For generating images, I use ChatGPT and its 4o model. They have really stepped up their game, and their results are hard to beat. For coding, I actually use GitHub Copilot, also owned by Microsoft, and not to be confused with Microsoft Copilot. And if I hit a tricky or long code review, I often paste the code into Claude or ChatGPT for step-by-step explanations. At my day job, I'm deep in the Microsoft ecosystem, so Copilot has become my indispensable sidekick. Its contextual awareness is a major boost. It knows what I'm working on before I even finish explaining it. My advice: don't be afraid to use more than one tool for a task. For example, research with Perplexity, then copy the bullet points into ChatGPT to draft your blog post. Try out free versions first so you get a feel for them. All these tools have free tiers that offer incredible value, that let you get a feel of the interface and strengths, but they're not all alike. Let me break down what you actually get without spending a penny. ChatGPT Free gives you access to GPT-4o, but with some important catches. You'll get the standard model most of the time, but during peak hours, you might notice it slowing down or even downgrading to a lighter version when servers are slammed. You can do basic web searches and some limited image generation, plus upload files with size restrictions. The voice mode works fine for casual use, but you won't get cloud connectors or code interpreter, and customization is limited. And yes, sometimes you'll be staring at that queue counter during busy periods. Free Claude runs on Claude 3 Sonnet or Haiku. You don't typically get access to the highest tier Opus model on the free plan, but it's still impressively capable for document handling. You can upload and discuss lengthy documents, but there are daily message caps that you'll definitely notice if you're a heavy user. Web search is available sometimes, but it's basic, and during peak usage, you might experience timeouts or slower responses. No access to the artifacts feature for creating shareable documents either. Microsoft Copilot comes baked into Edge, Windows 11, and is available to anyone with a Microsoft account. The free version actually includes GPT-4o and chats, web search with proper references, and even free image generation. Pretty generous, but you're limited to about 30 conversation turns per session with daily quotas, and the real power is locked behind business subscriptions. Mac or Chrome users also get a somewhat diluted experience compared to the Windows and Edge integration. Perplexity offers unlimited, basic, quick searches with citations and follow-ups, which is fantastic for casual research, but you only get 3 pro searches daily if you want the advanced model or deeper dives. There's no file uploading or image analysis without paying, and you can't choose which AI model powers your search. Still, it's my go-to when I need a quick, cited answer without fuss. Google Gemini shows up right in Google Search for basic queries and runs as a nano model on Pixel devices. You'll get limited integration with Gmail and Docs, but the really useful Canvas collaboration tools are paywalled. Want to generate images or videos? That's advanced territory. It's fine for simple tasks, but Google isn't subtle about nudging you toward a subscription. Meta AI stands out by being completely free across WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook. You can generate text, images, GIFs, get translations, and even create some code and video without hitting usage caps for everyday conversation. The trade-off? No public API unless you're building with Llama models yourself, and it's not designed for complex research or technical business applications. DeepSeek takes the open source approach, giving you core features without cost, perfect for academics, developers, and tinkerers. But fair warning, there's no slick UI or business integrations, and setup requires some technical know-how. Not for beginners unless you enjoy a challenge. What you'll notice with all free versions is that they come with daily limits, whether it's message caps, context windows, or feature restrictions. When you start hitting those walls regularly, that's your signal it's time to consider paid options. Free tools also tend to slow down during traffic peaks, especially ChatGPT and Claude, and you generally can't do serious file analysis or use business integrations without paying. The paid tiers unlock what you'd expect: priority access, no more queues, advanced features, unlimited file uploads, integrations with other tools, and consistent reliability. At around $20 monthly, ChatGPT Plus, Claude Pro, Copilot Pro, Perplexity Pro, and Gemini Advanced all remove those frustrating limitations and add serious power features that make a real difference in how you work. The tipping point: if you're hitting daily limits, waiting in queues, or need AI for work that generates actual value, paid tiers deliver serious ROI. Now let's talk safety, because if you're going to use these AI tools in your daily life, you need to know how your information is being handled and what pitfalls to watch out for. Firstly, ChatGPT. Here's the deal. By default, OpenAI may use your conversations to improve their models, but you can turn this off. Now, if you're using paid enterprise or API options, your data is never used for training. So remember, don't paste in those business secrets or sensitive information unless you're on those enterprise or team tiers. Anthropic is really leading the charge on privacy. A huge part of their pitch is that your content isn't used to retrain models unless you specifically opt in. That extra layer of protection is exactly why organizations handling confidential or regulated information often gravitate toward Claude. When using Microsoft Copilot for business and enterprise users, all your prompts and data stay inside your Microsoft tenant. They're not sent off to train the underlying model, but with free Copilot or Bing, Your inputs can be used to improve the service unless you've opted out in your privacy settings. So, for anything confidential, stick to your enterprise Copilot or a privacy-tested version. When it comes to Google Gemini, your queries might be used to improve the AI, but business and education accounts have much stricter rules. Always check those Google account settings and data controls, especially if you're handling anything confidential. Meta AI is similar. For everyday users, your chats are used to improve consumer products, but Meta's Llama models are actually quite privacy-friendly for anyone hosting their own instance. This makes them great for developers wanting control, though less ideal for enterprise confidentiality unless you set up your own system. And like I talked about earlier, because DeepSeek is open source, you can run it entirely on your own infrastructure, which is a huge win for anyone in regulated sectors or wanting to guarantee zero data leakage. One thing to note though, if you're using the hosted version instead of self-hosting, there are some concerns about data potentially being processed on Chinese servers, which could raise compliance issues depending on your industry or region. One important topic that doesn't receive enough attention is data residency. The physical location where your data is stored and processed matters significantly for compliance and security. For organizations in regulated industries, or those under laws like GDPR, choosing AI tools with appropriate data residency options is crucial. Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, and OpenAI's enterprise offerings provide regional storage guarantees, while Claude offers regional data processing options for enterprise customers. Open source solutions like DeepSeek only ensure data residency when self-hosted. If this applies to you and your business, always verify where your data physically resides, as this affects legal jurisdiction and compliance obligations. Let me give you some practical tips. Always use enterprise or paid tiers for work stuff. Avoid pasting any confidential data into consumer or free AI tools. Take a minute to check and adjust your privacy settings. Most of these platforms let you opt out of helping train the AI by switching off history or adjusting your account preferences. If privacy is a big concern for you, lean toward Claude or Microsoft Copilot's enterprise version. And for really sensitive information, try paraphrasing or anonymizing before sharing. Now, about ethics and bias, remember that all these models can make mistakes, those hallucinations we hear about, or reflect biases from their training data. This is true whether you're using Claude, Copilot, ChatGPT, or Perplexity. None of them give you a free pass on fact-checking if the answer really matters. Always double-check AI answers with another source, especially for financial, medical, legal, or controversial topics. Every AI tries to filter or refuse unsafe or inappropriate requests, but sometimes they overcorrect. So use your judgment, and especially in education or business contexts. Let's take a quick tour of the latest developments that are worth the spotlight. ChatGPT passed 800 million weekly users, with 3 million paid up. Their new O1 reasoning model means better logic, especially for coding and tricky problems. There's lots of talk about the desktop and mobile apps getting smarter, with Study Together and Code Mode expanded. And GPT-5 is on the horizon, expected to launch any day now. This new model promises a truly unified, multimodal experience with impressive agency. No more switching between models. It has a strong focus on persistent memory, advanced reasoning capabilities that feel almost human, and seamless integration with external tools. Claude 4 officially launched. It's now at the top of independent coding benchmarks and can process truly monster-sized documents. Their Pro and Max paid plans are out, and Claude's Artifacts feature is live, so you can create and share AI-driven docs, reports, or coding projects straight from Claude. Microsoft Copilot has new features like Copilot Memory, which lets AI remember details across sessions if you allow it, Copilot pages for workplace knowledge sharing, and a lab for experimenting with prompts and workflows. Big news in enterprise, Copilot now tunes to your business data and supports agent plugins, letting it handle ever more complex business and research workflows. Perplexity's massive $14 billion valuation, yes, that's with a B, is worth a mention too. They have also launched their mobile assistant with voice and multi-step tasks and a beta of the Comet AI browser. Imagine browsing with answers and summaries in a side panel automatically. Perplexity is betting big on moving beyond just search to being your daily mobile and web assistant. Google Gemini's workspace expansion continues. Gemini Live brings natural voice chat to Android and web, deeper image and video creation with Imagen and VO models, even broader collaboration in Canvas. Google's AI is now better able to parse large code bases and bulk data than ever, and is bundling Gemini Advanced tightly with Google One subscriptions. Let's zoom out and examine the global landscape, because while AI assistants are tools designed for everyone, access to these tools varies significantly around the world. That means language support, regional access, and cultural fine-tuning really matter, and the situation changes by country as much as by app. When it comes to language coverage, as I said earlier, Meta AI is leading here, supporting 100+ languages with translation capabilities across WhatsApp and Messenger. It's particularly useful for multilingual conversations and group chats across different regions, though language feature availability varies by location. Gemini, ChatGPT, and Claude are all strong in dozens of major world languages. Perplexity leans English but handles global queries via multimodal support. Quality is highest in English and widely spoken languages, but all are racing to improve, so if you work or study in Spanish, Hindi, Arabic, Chinese, you're now well served. Now let's talk about regional access and restrictions. Most of the world, North America, Europe, India, South America, large parts of Africa and Southeast Asia, has direct access to all these tools, at least on the free tier. The big exceptions are China, Iran, Russia, and a handful of sanctioned states, where alternatives or homegrown models like Baidu Ernie or Yandex's AI fill the gap. In some places, VPNs are how users bypass blocks. Each provider now has region-sensitive moderation. What's safe, compliant in the US isn't always the norm in, say, the UAE. Localization is better than ever, but always cross-check for local sensitivities if publishing or deploying AI-generated work. EU, notably, has strict rules about user data that Copilot, Claude, and ChatGPT teams are all working to comply with. Alright, let's sum up. The main takeaway? There's no best AI assistant for everyone in 2025. Each tool is genuinely brilliant in its own corner. The smart approach is matching the job to the right digital assistant. Don't try to make one tool bend to everything. Blend them, combine strengths, and you'll get the best of all worlds. My challenge to you: try out a new assistant this week, maybe Perplexity for fact-checking, or Claude for document analysis. See how it fits your workflow. Above all, keep an eye on privacy and ethics. These tools are powerful, but our judgment and input matter most. That's it for this episode. If you've got a story about how an AI assistant surprised you, for better or worse, or you have a favorite power user tip, let me know. Email at hello@theaibreakdown.com. I love hearing what tools are working for real people. If you found this helpful or you want more practical deep dives into the tools shaping our future, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and consider leaving a review to help others find us. Thanks for making time for the AI Breakdown. See you next time.